Versatile Mage. Chapter 35 Growth Type Stardust Magic Tool. Wrong. There's something wrong. I used my intent to probe it before, but the Loach pendant was like the Dead Sea. So why did it become a spirit-nourishing hot spring today? While at same time, the school's Stardust Magic Tool that should have some effect just happens to be out of use. Sheet. Don't tell me the Loach pendant absorbed the Stardust Magic Tool's internal energy. Mo Fan suddenly made an astonished wild guess. Mo Fan immediately concentrated his intent once more. This time, he quickly probed the fluctuations between the two magic tools. As expected, Mo Fan could feel the Stardust Magic Tool had a trace of hidden energy in its deepest parts. However, this trace of energy was currently shifting. Accurately speaking, this freaking Loach pendant took a straw and started to suck in the energy from the school's Stardust Magic Tool. If I only realized this later, then I wouldn't have been able to find any kind of evidence. Freaking hell, little Loach, I never thought that you'd actually have some skill. After hiding it for so long, you finally revealed it, Mo Fan swore as he grabbed the Loach pendant with one hand. Little Loach, go die Loach. Hurry and compensate my Stardust Magic Tool. How am I supposed to cultivate when you've drained all of its energy? However, the Loach pendant just released some energy for me to use. What I should worry about is how I'm supposed to explain to the school regarding this empty shell of a Stardust Magic Tool. Furthermore, this little Loach pendant that I swear at every day, seems to really be a freaking Stardust Magic Tool. Mo Fan felt his own brain was not enough to process this. This information was too explosive. Calm down, I have to calm down. I have to hurry and get to the end of this matter. Mo Fan continued sitting there, studying the two tools. He realized the little Loach pendant he wore actually seemed to have the same function as a Stardust Magic Tool. Mo Fan tried to make the little Loach pendant return the energy to the Stardust Magic Tool, but the Loach pendant had no reaction. Mo Fan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The great thing about it was, the little Loach pendant was actually a really amazing Stardust Magic Tool. The real tragedy was that the school's Stardust Magic Tool had been wasted. There was not a shred of energy left in it, it was just like a pebble by the riverbank. The school gave the Stardust Magic Tool to him for 10 days. After 10 days, he had to return it to them in its original state. It's not like he could tell Zhu Musheng that he was bored, and thus he decided to remodel the Stardust Magic Tool into a Loach shape. He can't even begin to guess what kind of expression Zhu Musheng would have after he saw the small Loach pendant. Mrs. Tang Yu is experienced and knowledgeable. Perhaps she knows the reason behind this. Mo Fan knew that him being blindly anxious would be of no use, so he hastily sought some help. Mrs. Tang Yu was Mo Fan's #1 choice. After that time when Mrs. Tang Yu had seen through the schemes of Mu He and Mu Bai, Mo Fan and she had established a deep teacher-to-student trust. Mrs. Tang Yu, are you sleeping? Mo Fan called Mrs. Tang Yu's phone. I just changed into my pajamas, about to sleep. Tell me what you want. A sexy and gentle voice floated back to him. Mo Fan couldn't help but wonder about Mrs. Tang Yu's amazing appearance when wearing a transparent nightgown. My Stardust Magic Tool seemed to have a small problem. I don't know what to do right now. I could only call Mrs. Tang Yu to consult. Mo Fan assumed a pitiful student's demeanor. Where are you? After hearing Stardust Magic Tool, Mrs. Tang Yu seemed to turn somewhat serious. The Stardust Magic Tool was the most precious item in the school. If there was a problem, then it would be big. The third building's roof, on top of the dam. All right, give me 3 minutes. Mrs. Tang Yu quickly hung up the phone. After hanging up the phone, Mo Fan began to think to himself, 3 minutes. How could Mrs. Tang Yu possibly come here from the teacher's dormitory? Even if Zhang Xiaohe were to use Wind Trail, I reckon he'd need 5 minutes. What's more, Mo Fan didn't think that Mrs. Tang Yu would come here without changing her attire. As Mo Fan was still indulging in his fantasies, A weak movement suddenly appeared on the pitch-black roof. This movement was extremely weak. If Mo Fan hadn't carefully noticed it from the beginning, he would have not seen it. It didn't seem to be an air fluctuations, nor was it the aura from elemental energy. The noiselessness caused him to feel somewhat terrified. Mo Fan. At last, a gentle and beautiful voice floated over. "It's Mrs. Tang Yu." Mo Fan jumped in fright, hastily looking toward the open roof from his current location. The moonlight sprinkled over the intersection of the water pipes on the old roof. The black cloud's shadow was revealing a bright yet dark figure on the roof. The first thing that entered Mo Fan's vision was an indistinct silhouette emerging from the shadows. Immediately after, Mo Fan saw Mrs. Tang Yu wearing a long, woman's style coat coming out of the shadows of the dark clouds and into the area of moonlight. It felt like Mrs. Tang Yu had simply walked out of another door. Extremely shocking. What kind of ability is this? Mo Fan couldn't help but take a deep breath. He didn't even hear footsteps from the corridor. Just how exactly did Mrs. Tang Yu come to the roof and emerge from the shadows? What's wrong with your Stardust magic tool? Mrs. Tang Yu suddenly leapt down and landed on the dam. The bright moon illuminated Mrs. Tang Yu's impressive physique. It made Mo Fan's heart ripple. I don't know either. I did everything according to what Zhu Musheng said. I don't know what happened, but the Stardust magic tool's energy suddenly disappeared. And then what? Mo Fan was hesitating. He was wondering whether he should tell Mrs. Tang Yu about the little loach pendant or not. However, his understanding of this world was far too little. If he did not tell her about this matter, then Mrs. Tang Yu might not believe him. And then the energy was transferred into my pendant, Mo Fan told her. Regardless of what it was, he should put trust in this teacher. On the one hand, it was very likely that Tang Yu would see through him. On the other hand, he didn't know how to explain this whole matter to the school. Him slandering Mu Juoyan, the school would turn a blind eye to. However, breaking the Stardust magic tool, that would give Mu He enough of a reason to kick him out of Tianlan Magic High. You're saying that the Stardust magic tool given to you by the school has had its energy transferred to your pendant? Tang Yu widened her bright eyes as she revealed a somewhat disbelieving expression. Yes. Mo Fan nodded. Where did your pendant come from? Tang Yu's expression had an obvious change. Heritage, Mo Fan replied. Tang Yu immediately turned silent. Furthermore, she used her intelligent eyes to look at Mo Fan and then at his pendant. Have you told this matter to anyone else? Tang Yu's expression was very serious as she said this to Mo Fan. Mo Fan couldn't help but feel startled. This was like a classic TV show where they'd murder someone for their belongings. Seeing the surroundings, the weather, the dark night, a certain student couldn't handle the pressure of studying magic. Thus, he jumped off the roof. Wasn't everything conforming to the script? Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share and subscribe.